Heading into the week, it was a rough last episode optically for me, but if you follow us on social media, I gave out plenty of winners there as well. Episode 182 of The Next Best Bet. I'm Jake Higgins with Brett Levy, who thankfully did a much better than me this past episode.
Higgins, but you did my thing. You hit your pick of the pod, so you're in the clear. You said, hey, everyone, I'm most confident in the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to get it done against the Washington football team. And look, Higgins, you and Mike McCarthy on the same page there. So good for you guys. You both guaranteed it, and the Cowboys backed up your trash talk there.
And it was a 2-unit play, and it helped wash out the NFL future I took at the beginning of the year. I still have one NFL future left, which is the Saints to have over 9 wins. That's not looking too grand, although they did get a win this week against the Jets, so we'll see. But Brett, looking at Beginners Boulevard, I do want to talk about a term called off the board, and it's a game that gets taken off of the board and you can't bet on it for whatever reason, whether that be some notable injuries just came across, some breaking news, but typically taking a game off the board means that it was on, and then it'll come back later. Generally, it's just off for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, you'll hear lines are locked, things of that nature. Another reason a game may be off the board, Higgins, is, look, I'm in the state of New Jersey. I'm here. I'm looking for the Army-Navy spread or anything, and I can't get it. And then it occurs to me, normally I can't bet Rutgers football because, they're a New Jersey college team, so half their games are in the state of New Jersey. Was a college sport in New Jersey, Higgins, so off the board, no Army-Navy betting in New Jersey for college football.
That's how we had a hard time finding those lines, because New Jersey, that game was in East Rutherford, so you couldn't bet on it. I had to look at lines that were available in Arizona, Colorado, some of the other states that have sports betting in America now. It's great to see the variety that we have with more states opening up.
Yeah, well, it helps. Like, you could make the short drive to Pennsylvania from New Jersey and place that wager. You could find a casino in New York and place that wager. I don't know where else you'd go. I mean, maybe it's in Delaware. I don't know if it's in Delaware, but that's another state I guess you could go to from New Jersey.
Well, speaking of some states that you might need to drive or check on why they might be off the book, Brett, we have a week worth of prep that we can do in college football. Bowl season starts on Friday. That's the first games of bowl week. Are you excited? What games are you really looking at?
Yeah, I am excited. I love college football bowl season and all the action all week long. To be honest, Higgins, I have not done very much prep, but the one bowl name that has me super excited is the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl. To be the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl champs, I feel like you gotta feel like that's a successful season, Higgins.
The Jimmy Kimmel Bowl, that's a new one. Barstool has their own bowl that they're broadcasting. That should be interesting. From these early ones that are starting on Friday, at least, I mean, we got a MACtion game against Coastal Carolina. That should be interesting, Brett. We've been back in the MAC for the past few weeks, but I don't know. Coastal Carolina, they're a beast. We're going to have to wait till Thursday's episode to see how we do about college football. College basketball, Brett, I went to take a look at Monday. No top 25 matchups. This week, are there any games really on your radar?
There's some good ones on Tuesday night, Higgins. So, as the week goes on, we'll have some better games. But you're right. When BC is the biggest team on the board on a Monday, or Rhode Island, it's a tough slate. I won't argue it.
Well, there's one game that you can't bet on, Brett, and that's Princeton hosting UMBC. So,
that
unless
was
you
the
want to
game.
drive to Pennsylvania.
That was the game.
Well, you know what really is the game, Brett? It's the NFL Monday night game. We got the Rams, we got the Cardinals, an NFC West matchup that we've been eyeing really since the beginning of the season when we were talking about the potential of this division. a lot of it's lived up to be reality, really. And Kyler Murray back from injury last week, full week of practice this week. I'm really excited about this game, Brett. And you know what? I'm going to take Arizona -2.5 here. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. It might come down to who has the ball last. I like that this line is under 3, though, so I'm going to grab it on Sunday night while it's still under 3.
All right, fair enough, Higgins. I may hop on this game as we get closer to kickoff, but I'd probably take the other side. I'd probably just take the dog and hope it's close, or I get lucky, my team wins with the late field goal. But I agree, Higgins. I think this game will be relatively close. You're taking the home team on Monday Night Football. It's a pretty good wager, so no issues with that bet on my end. But as we get closer to kickoff, I may be on the Rams, Higgins. I may find myself coming over there. Can't fade the Monday Night Football while I'm at the Sports Grid office party, I gotta be on the game.
I'm also just backing the team that's been better against the spread so far this season. The Cardinals 9-3, the Rams 5-7. However, Los Angeles, they kind of had some offensive struggles a little bit early on. I mean, Matthew Stafford, the new quarterback, was still learning the system, and everyone was still getting comfortable with each other. They've been looking good, though, recently. This over-under is sitting at 51. I don't know if I'm going to end. I might be betting on that by Monday, but I can't touch that right now. But I do think it's going to be high scoring. I think that's about right on the nose at 51.
Yeah, I'd probably lean over on that. I think both these teams can put up 28 for touchdowns. So, well, I'll call it 27.
Well, they're both averaging 28, so you hit that right on the nose.
Yeah, I think both these offenses can put up some points, Higgins. And look, no Darrell Henderson for the Rams. He's on COVID. The Cardinals are playing it coy with Chase Edmonds. They haven't decided if they're going to activate him or not by the time we're recording this podcast. So there's still some question marks here in this game on offense for both these teams, but the quarterback play, the play calling, I think these teams know how to score.
It's going to be a fun one. A lot of eyes on that one for sure. Let's shift our eyes to Moneyline Magic, Brett, and talk about an afternoon game on Sunday that went late. I mean, there were 2 of them, 2 overtime games on Sunday, Brett. We've had a lot of overtime games, and I feel like we got to talk about a special one. Niners at Bengals. This became a scoring frenzy very, very late. I mean, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase connected twice in the fourth quarter to have it go from 20-6 to 20-20, sending this to overtime.
Yeah, a great fourth quarter by Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase there to score those big touchdown tickets. And look, for a small time here, it looked like Cincinnati was in a good spot, but San Francisco would answer in overtime.
Well, and with this Moneyline Magic, you have to make sure you know the rules of NFL overtime. The Bengals start with the ball, kick a field goal, go up 23-20, but because it was the first possession of overtime, that means the Niners get a chance. And Jimmy G marches the Niners down the field, throws a touchdown to Brandon Ayuk, and the San Francisco 49ers end up winning this one 26-23. Brett, it's obviously Moneyline Magic when you have 9 points scored in overtime, because that rarely happens in the NFL.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Coaches get more aggressive knowing they don't want to give the other team a chance, but Bengals kicked the field goal. They were up. Their defense had played well all day, and just, a big drive for the Niners.
And the other game at that same time slot that went to overtime, I mean, you had Buffalo and Tampa Bay. Buffalo got the ball first. You saw Tom Brady pacing back and forth on the sideline, hoping he got the ball back to be able to march down and win like they ultimately did.
Yeah, exactly. And Look, Buffalo wasn't able to score on their drive, and Brashard Perryman breaks off a big run there, Higgins. So, huge win for the Bucks. Huge win for the 49ers.
Quick stat I heard during the Bucks game, Brett, before we move on. Tom Brady, when he's led by 21 or more points in a game, going into this game was 106-1. The only loss being against the Buffalo Bills back in 2011. The fact the Bills went all the way back and tied it, and after they showed that graphic, the Bills tied it, and I go, you know what? I'm going to take the Bucks on the money line here because history says Brady wins this 106 times out of 107, so it was even odds, and I got a nice little easy live bet win there.
There you go, Higgins. But let's hop into some more games that are happening. I think we've hit on this game that already finished. We're not helping anyone out by continuing to recap the Bucks.
That's fair. Let's move on to the NBA, Brett, and question, because this is the last couple days that we're going to have value, because I think Clay's going to be activated around Christmas time potentially. And you're hearing the broadcasters talk about it more and more in NBA games. But when Clay comes back, are the Warriors the favorite to win the NBA championship this year? And is it a good time to bet on the Warriors right now before Clay comes back and that value goes down? Because right now, at least in Oregon, the Warriors at plus 600. I'm debating this really heavily.
Yeah, I think if you want to bet the Warriors, this is the time to do it. But I think you can poke holes at the Warriors just like you can a lot of teams. We also don't know, what's going to happen when Clay comes back. I don't wish injuries on anyone, Higgins, but Clay came back the last time and played about 20 minutes and, was hurt again. So anything. I mean, there's a huge, wide range of outcomes here. Clay could come back, be the player he was. Clay could come back, be 75% of the player he was. He could be 50. We just don't know. You're reading reports, and he looks like he sounds good. So we're all hopeful, right? We're all thinking we're going to get 90% Clay Thompson here. He's going to be draining threes and locking up the other team's best player. But, there's no guarantees that that's the guy. So I'd like to see it before I was backing the Warriors. Warriors also on a little bit of a skid as we're talking right now. Probably going to sit Steph, I would guess, at Indiana. Indiana said they were going to sell everyone off and then started a win streak. So I think Indiana is probably the team. Oh, well, I don't want to get into that game yet. But
well, we can get into it. We can just jump right into that game because you know what? I'm going to be on that game, so we can just talk about Warriors-Pacers on Monday night. That's a game we could start on.
All right, fair enough. Well, Golden State is playing the Knicks on Tuesday night in the Garden, Higgins, and there's a big record on the line, and something just tells me it would mean a little bit more to Steph Curry to break that record in Madison Square Garden than beautiful Baker's Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. Not that, Indianapolis isn't a great arena, great fan base, but let's just call a spade, Higgins.
The only argument I heard on SportsCenter for why Curry would break it in Indiana is Ray Allen, the team that he coaches, his son's high school team in California, they don't have a game on Monday night, so he could potentially be there in the building when Curry would do that, but he wouldn't be able to on Tuesday night against the Knicks. But who knows? I don't think they're going to set it up for that. I agree they're probably going to set it up for the Knicks, but to be honest, Brett, the Warriors are the second best team in the NBA against the spread. The Pacers, I don't trust. Like you said, they were selling and then they went on a win streak. Everyone I follow on gambling Twitter hates betting on the Pacers, can't trust them in player props, can't trust them betting as a team in general. The Warriors, even without Steph Curry here, need to get the ship straightened out. And there's reports Draymond Green yelled at the team about their effort against the Sixers. And hopefully that means they respond accordingly with or without Steph in Indiana. So you know what? I'm taking the Warriors -3. They're against the spread, second best team in the NBA. Let's see it. With or without Steph, you got to be able to do it still.
Yeah, well, it'll be an interesting game to keep our eye on and see if Steph Curry is in the lineup or not. Because who knows, Higgins, maybe you beat the Bucks there. Higgins, I got a fun stat for you. Do you know who the worst home team in the NBA is?
Against the spread or just in general?
Just in general, just
No,
like,
no,
hey,
tell me.
who's the worst team at home in the NBA? Well, it's the Detroit Pistons. But second on the list is the Toronto Raptors, Higgins, and the Sacramento Kings are coming to town on Monday night. +5 on the spread, Higgins. That seems like easy money to me. Not only are the Raptors more likely to lose at home than win at home, I get 5 points with this, Higgins.
You get 5 points with that. And Brett, you know what? Everyone going back to Toronto now, having to go through customs, might have everyone a little bit more focused and ready and aware. Maybe a little bit mad at the airport security that they have to go through. So they're playing a little bit angry up in Toronto.
Higgins blaming the airport security for the Raptors' home woes. You heard it here first. Don't take that take anywhere else.
Hey, I think we got something there. I think we got something.
I like it. We're starting conspiracy theories here, and I'm a big fan of that. You heard it here first. It's the airport security's fault. The Raptors are the second worst team in the NBA at home.
All right. I'm on one more game on Monday night in the NBA. That's going to be the Miami Heat at the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Brett, the Cavs, they've covered 11 straight games. They're 21-5-2 overall so far this season against the spread. I'm backing the Cavs at home, -4 against the Heat. I don't care who the Cavs are backing right now. They're riding this wave. I'm going to jump on this wave and surf it out a little bit. If it comes crashing down on me, that's okay.
Yeah, well, Cleveland playing really well, playing well above expectation. Lost their best scoring guard. Colin Sexton hasn't really mattered. Mobley has been really, really good, Higgins, for the Cavaliers. It seems like him and Barnes are pretty much the runaway Rookie of the Year candidates. It's a little early in the season for me to give up hope on Josh Giddey. So many things can happen, injury-related and scoring runs and all this
There's
stuff.
a lot to be played.
Yeah,
There's
a lot of time left. But Mobley has been sensational. Jarrett Allen's been fantastic. So, look, I was not in on Cleveland preseason. I was like, they got too many bigs. How's it going to work with Kevin Love? How's it going to work with Lauri Markkanen? But it's working pretty well for the Cleveland Cavaliers right now, Higgins.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it right now. And they're just letting the young guys go. You got to love to see it. I mean, and Brett, at least until after the NBA trade deadline, when we see where all the pieces kind of settle, I wouldn't give up on any of these Rookie of the Year or NBA futures necessarily, because you never know who's going to get more playing time or less playing time.
Exactly. And Giddy's played well. Just, look, Scotty Barnes has been arguably the best player on the Toronto Raptors this season, and Evan Mobley has been, a top 2 player, 3 player for Cleveland, and both those teams playing better than they were a year ago, so clear, hey, this guy wasn't here a year ago, team's improved, what's different? Well, these guys. So clear improvement there for these teams. Higgins, I am in one more game on Monday night as well, so 2 for each of us. I'm going over to this Bucks-Celtics game. The Bucks, 1.5-point dogs, Higgins, but they have not lost a game when all 3 of their big 3 have been on the court together, and I don't see any reason why, as of Sunday night, that won't be the case. So give me the Bucks, plus 1.5. I'm gonna take those numbers and use them, Higgins. How you like that? Take that for data.
Yeah, the defending champs, they just need to be able to get everyone on the court like what you're saying, and I think they'll be fine. They're resting everyone. They're playing it smart right now. Like we said earlier, it's a long season.
It is a long season. Anything can happen. But Monday night, give me the Bucks, plus 1.5.
Monday night at home against Boston, Brett says, give them the Bucks. Okay, let's see it. Well, Brett, we're lucky because the NBA has a great slate on Monday. The NHL has one game on Monday night that we only have. So don't worry about that. We only have one game to talk about on Monday night. I did still pick a Tuesday night game, but we'll get to that in a second.
Higgins, I picked a fucking Tuesday night game. How
Ooh,
about that? How
Brett
about that?
picked a Tuesday night game. Ooh,
How about
reaching
that?
out into the future. I like it. Going fishing. Here we go.
There was nothing to do I mean, yeah, there's Calgary, Chicago, and we're gonna break it down for everyone. But I mean, one game, yuck.
And to be honest, Chicago has not played well at all. And the Calgary Flames on the road against the puck line are actually really good. The Flames, let me pull it up here right now. They are 11-6 on the road against the puck line. If they were playing in Calgary, I would not be betting on Calgary. They're 3-8 at home. But on the road, Calgary shows up. And Chicago has just not shown up this season. So minus 1.5 at plus 175. I love the value. I'm taking that.
All right, Calgary and the Toronto Raptors just refusing to win at home. Must be something in the water on both coasts of Canada. I don't know. They're just allergic to home wins, Higgins. But the Canadians, lucky for them, are on the road at Pittsburgh. But Higgins, the Canadians, it doesn't matter where they're playing. They're just not good. So give me the Penguins, minus 1.5 on the puck line, plus 105 value. So I'm getting positive value. I think as this game gets closer, Higgins, more money will come in on Pittsburgh. Maybe we'll see a little movement on the VIG there. So I'm going to take it early at the plus 105. That's how you get me on a Tuesday game. Give me the Canadians playing.
Yeah, Canadians not playing well against the puck line so far. So I like you taking that while you're still getting that positive plus 105 value because I think you're right. I wouldn't be surprised if by Tuesday that's a minus 1.5 line that we're seeing at minus 105 potentially.
Yeah, I think it could move over that even money. Yeah, I think it can move over that even money.
I got a Tuesday line as well, Brett. And like I've said the past few episodes, and I said it at the top of this episode, and I'm gonna preach it to high heavens. Seattle Kraken overs are automatic plays. Every game this season, take the Seattle Kraken over, not just for that specific team, the game's total points over. So on Tuesday, the Kraken, they're playing in San Jose against the Sharks. I'm taking over 6 at plus 100. The value's plus 100. Give that to me. I'm loving the fact that I'm getting some plus 100 value with the Kraken. I got that on, I believe it was Saturday they played. I got some Kraken over money as well. I mean, you got to just, this new team, they're scoring a lot of goals themselves, but they're letting a ton by. Just keep taking that over.
Over. All right, Higgins. That is good advice. You are doing very well on that trend, so sharing it with our listeners is really nice of you. You know, you should be pocketing that money, keeping it for yourself, keeping these overs nice and low. Let some people bet some unders, Higgins. Get some money on the other side of these things.
Nobody's listening. They're sleeping on it, so I'm just going to keep preaching it. Hopefully some people jump on my bandwagon with it because I'm an early disciple of the Seattle Kraken over.
Early disciple. All right. Well, let's get to our Levy lock and pick of the pod then. And look, you just keep winning these things, Higgins. So, wow, you lead us off then, I guess.
Well, like I said in our NBA segment, the Golden State Warriors, they are the second best in the NBA against the spread. And with or without Steph Curry, which I'm not sold that he's not playing on Monday, because there's a chance Ray Allen could be in the building, and that could be special as well. We'd all love to see him get it in on Tuesday in New York, but I think Golden State needs to win this game with or without Steph Curry. And -3, that line's small enough for me that I'm hopping on that right now while it's still within one bucket. So give me Warriors -3. And like I've been doing all December, it's a 2-unit pick of the pod.
All right, 2 units. So he doesn't care about Steph playing or not. That's a big concern for me. But, Higgins, I love you, and I'm rooting for you hard. Although I got a lot of friends with the Pacers.
I care about whether Steph plays or not. I think the Golden State Warriors need to be able to win this game without Steph.
I got too many friends with the Pacers, so I can't even fully support you on this one, Higgins.
Okay.
But I'll support you for 1 unit. I hope you break even. I hope they somehow, it's a 3-point game. Everyone's happy.
It's just a push.
Yeah, just a push. There we go. But Higgins, I'm also hopping on a line that can push. I'm hopping on the Kings +5 at the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors, worst home team. Well, I don't really count Detroit. They're injured. They're beat up. They're in a full-blown rebuild. The Raptors are the second worst home team in the entire NBA, Higgins. Not good. If this game was on the road, I'd feel very differently, but the Kings +5 in Toronto, where everyone's going in and taking dubs, give me the Kings.
It's the airport security. We're starting that conspiracy here on the Next Best Bet. You heard it here first.
You heard it. Don't go sharing that info anywhere. That is top-notch secret. You can only get that here.
Yeah, but there is some top-notch info as well that you can only get on our social media. That's some picks between now and next episode. At NBB Pod on Twitter, at Next Best Bet on Instagram, and the Next Best Bet Facebook page and YouTube channel. This has been episode 182 of the Next Best Bet. For Brett, I'm Jake. We'll talk to you guys again on Thursday.